Hi everybody, I'm Diya Nagaraj. I'm the Albert Ravenholt Curator of Danish-American culture here at the museum. And today I'm going to do a little bit of an exhibit preview for our upcoming exhibition called Fabric of a Nation, Art, Quilts and Immigration Stories. So this exhibit will be opening here on November 24th, or Yulefest weekend, and it'll be open through the start of May. And so this exhibit is really exciting because it looks at different journeys to America through the lens of quilting and textile arts. And so we have some of the pieces here already, and so I wanted to show you two of them and give you a little preview of what'll be up on our museum walls in a few weeks. So some of the pieces that we'll have in the gallery are borrowed from the Migrant Quilt Project, which is based out of Arizona, and the pieces are currently housed at the Arizona Historical Society. So here I have the Tucson 2009 to 2010 quilt, and all of these pieces are created to honor and remember those who died while trying to cross the southern border within the Border Patrol's Tucson sector. So that basically covers the border, the Arizona border, and a little bit into surrounding states. And so on it, they take pieces of fabric that they find in the desert that have been left behind by migrants, and then they weave that, they sew that into a quilt, and then they add the names of everybody who perished that year trying to cross the border. And when they don't know the name, they write desconocidos, which means unknown in Spanish. And so here on the middle part that's designed like a flag, you can actually see the names of everybody when they're known, and desconocidos when they're not. And so it's a really powerful memorial to those who are trying to come to America for work, for a better life, for their family, and who unfortunately die on the journey. And especially for those whose names are unknown, it's even harder because you don't know who their family was, you don't know anything like that. And so they're really beautiful and powerful pieces, and we're really looking forward to having a grouping of them up on the museum walls in a few weeks. And so the other one over here is a Hmong Story Cloth, and I'll give a little bit of a warning for this. If you're uncomfortable with kind of depictions of violence, I would advise that you kind of stop the video now or whatever. But so Hmong Story Cloths are created by the Hmong people. So the Hmong are an ethnic minority that lived in Laos, and they had to flee to Thailand and became refugees during or right after the Vietnam War era. Laos was technically neutral during the Vietnam War, but they this fighting spilt over into the country. And although the US couldn't send troops in because it was a neutral country, they funded people like the Hmong and other ethnic groups within the country to basically fight for their side against the North Vietnamese and Pathet Lao communist troops. When the US pulled their support and armies pulled out of that region, unfortunately, the Hmong people were left to deal with the aftermath. And so when the Pathet Lao came to power, they viewed the Hmong support of the United States and the cause as traitorous. And so they launched a huge attack against the Hmong people, and thousands of people were murdered, and so many of them made the decision to flee. So what you see in the story cloth is some of the violence that they faced, whether it was the bombing of villages or execution squads or anything like that. And so it's a really difficult piece, but it's also a testament to the way in which they turned such a dark experience into these beautiful story cloths that were made while they were in refugee camps. And so it's a really interesting combination of a really difficult and violent history turned into such a beautiful, intricate art form. And so there'll be additional Hmong Story Cloths on display, as well as examples from our own collection that speak to the Danish and Danish-American experience. And we're really thrilled to have all these different journeys and textiles come together in our galleries. And we hope that you're able to check it out once it opens on November 24th. So thank you so much.